Hello everyone, welcome to another video by Shadow Reviews, and today we're going to be building, or not building, did that again. Today we're going to be reviewing another of my Bioformers, as they are called, biological transformers. And today's going to be another Skull Spider mock. Excuse me. As you can see by the mask up here is not a ship, and the Skull Spider right here. So off the bat, you can see he transforms into this, and it's not a tank, it's a hover car. Hover cars, they hover above the ground. I mean, you know what a hover car is. But yeah, I wanted to build one that transformed into a hover car with the blue Skull Spider mask. As you can see back here, blue Skull Spider mask. So yeah, here he is, and I think it's pretty cool. Has some nice shape to it. It's pretty wide as a car, but I mean, I still think it looks really cool. You have your trans orange up here and your gold new bionicle pieces up here, and none on the chest, because I mean, that's a villager thing, and Skull Spiders are not villagers, even as more humanoid forms. But you have these spikes here that come down and form a nice curve. This area is a little bare. You can see a couple ball joints and some of the bone piece endings, but it's not really that much you can do about that, so it's just kind of unfortunate. Have your Skull Spider here, like I said, just up front, just sitting around, catching your ride, And I do want to have each of my Skull Spider mocks carry at least one extra Skull Spider, just because, I mean, as they're mutated forms, since they've been hit by Energon like a bunch of other people, the Skull Spider that they were becomes their body. So now the Skull Spider limbs are humanoid limbs, so there's more of just a mask, I guess, and maybe even just purely their face. But I mean, something like that. Have your claws from the hands here, and they form a pretty nice shape. They curve up, and then you have your claws up here. Have your hands here. You can see some trans orange down here from the legs, some nice blue. Got your black up here and down here, and yeah, I do think it's quite a nice car, and yeah, it definitely looks fairly fast. Looks like it goes speeding over stuff. And again, all their Skull Spider, the Skull Spider here is exposed, and here it's exposed, because these guys are not exactly the smartest. They don't. I mean, if they feel emotion, then they don't feel very much of it, or they just don't feel enough of it, or they just, I mean, they're Skull Spiders. They don't feel ashamed to be Skull Spiders. They don't feel ashamed to show that they're Skull Spiders. They just want to attack you and attach to your face. So yeah, I think this vehicle model is pretty nice, and since I did use the blue Skull Spider mask, I used the blue that comes on most of the Surge builds from Hero Factory, just the normal blue. Some armor, the feet, armor up here. And I did use a little bit of this light blue. It's kind of cyanish up here in those bone pieces, just to add a little more color. But yeah, and again, the trans orange, just because all those Skull villains have some trans orange. It's just a trend with the Skull villains. So I thought might as well make it a trend with these Skull Spider transformers or Bioformers. But yeah, that's about all I have for the vehicle mode. Here's it from the top. From the side, not too bad. Has some nice angles to it. The back, the face. Here's the bottom, which is pretty exposed. You see everything, and this is hollow here, so bottom view is not that good. But I do like this vehicle. I think it's cool. I think it looks fast. It definitely is a good vehicle mode. But now let's get into transformation. Oh, yeah, before I forget, no weapon storage anywhere. I mean, if you wanted to, you could take off this white connector and leave the red peg on here, and maybe attach it to the foot up here, since it does have the exposed axle, but that would make the gun angled in. Also, what you could do, wasn't really planning to show this, but you could take off this part of the gun, the front part, and then just kind of stick it here, and then it just kind of be a gun like that. But you would have to take apart the weapon. If that doesn't bother you, then I mean, there's your gun storage, or not storage, but you have your gun here if you wanted that, and you just have this left behind. Can't really put it here. Not really. Yeah, it doesn't work too well. yeah, so weapon storage isn't that good. You can only really put half of it on the vehicle. But let's get to transformation finally. So what we're going to want to do is fold out these claws right here. They were just tucked under these spikes and kind of under these shell pieces right there. So you're going to pull those out, and then you're going to pull out the hands and bend them away from, just towards the bottom of them. The body, or the front, yeah, just bend them like that. So next what you want to do is pull, don't pop the mask off, come on. And I should mention, this Skull Spider mask fits pretty nicely over that chest plate here. Back here, let me just move a couple things, just kind of looks like it was meant to fit there. But instead of leaving it there, let's go ahead and pull that forward. Come on. This is the problem with these masks, you do this and it just pops off. I guess you're going to have to do that to pull this out. So you just pull the head out and you'll put the mask back on. Let's angle up so you can see a little more. So now what you're going to do is pull these legs over here and straighten them out. And then just kind of move them out to the sides to make way for the chest, which is right here. Has these Skull Spider limbs on back. Just be careful because, things are a bit, I wouldn't say tight, but, things run into things with this Skull Spider that's attached to it, and primarily the legs, so just be mindful of that. Your Skull Spider legs may pop off. So just, let's see, put this bone right here at a 90-degree angle from the main body, and then just fold this up like so. And there you have his chest. Now you can pull these down and stand him. Now you can just put the arms down, put these shoulder pads over the arms, and yep, almost done. Just kind of pull his chest up a little bit. So let's get back here. Now what you want to do is going to straighten these out and put them like this. As you can see, I'm going to bend this back like this, like so. Wait, now you're going to bend it. Hold on. You're going to take this blue bone and you're going to twist like this, then pull this back so that it can fold down over onto the spike like that. So it's going to look like that when it's done, and then just put that on his back. Next to the same on the other side. We'll just move this down. Get everything all lined up. Put it on his back. And there you go. So I have those. Yeah. And let's turn him around. Let's get him stood up. And here you have Blue Skull Spider Mock #1, all transformed. And like I've mentioned before with the Silver Skull Spider Mock #1, most of these guys will not have names, if any of them do have names, so they're just going to be like Skull Spider Blue #1, Skull Spider Green #6, yeah, just like that. So right here in his robot mode, I think it looks pretty cool, He is a bit bulkier than the Silver Skull Spider #1, which should be going up before this. So here's that, and I definitely wanted to do that because the Silver Skull Spider #1, he was kind of thin looking. He had some mass to the body, but his limbs were a little thin. At least his legs were. He is about the same size, I would guess, because the silver one did use a bone piece with a single technical for the lower leg, and then this piece right here for the upper leg. So they should be about the same height. It's just that this one just has more mass to him. He has these claws, these two claws as his entire hand on this beast foot. So he might have trouble actually grabbing things with these. But other than that, they're at least pretty cool looking. He could claw you with them. If you don't really like it, then you could just swap them out for like a blue hand, and that would just work fine. It just Mostly it would detract from the, you know, kind of menacing look, and a little bit from his vehicle mode, since these claws form kind of side fins up front. But, yeah. He fell over. You have your shoulder pads up here, which hang down. And here's his chest plate made out of half the beast head from Hero Factory, and your skull spider down there. Have your spikes sticking up at the back, which is cool. And yeah, overall he's pretty nice. So one thing that might bother you is the skull spider being down there. There's not really any other place to put it. You could definitely stick it on to this ankle, or not an ankle, the wrist right here, because of these two axle holes right here. So you could put it on there, but I don't think that, I mean, that might even be a better place for it, but I want it here just because, you know, but it does give him that kind of look. He already has a thick chest, and this just kind of gives him a little bit of a pot belly, which may displease you, I guess, but I mean, from the front, it's not that bad. You can still tell he has a bit of a pot belly, but it's better from the front. I mean, if you don't mind that kind of look, I mean, I'm not saying anything against people who have that, but I mean, if you're okay with that look, then it's fine. If you're not, you can just probably like snap it onto the hand right here. So yeah, so for his articulation head, you can look down. You have to move the chest out the way a little though. You can look side to side, and it can look up. So he's not too limited. Pretty much everything you need. Shoulder pads are on ball joints. They're on a bit of a slant just because of how these Bordica necks internally are shaped, so you can't. So there's a slight bit of limitation there, but you know, they can move up, they can move back, and in doing so, you can get the arms up to here. You can put them forward and back. You have to do it out to the side a little bit because these are getting in the way of the arms. You know, you have your rotate, and yeah. So putting this back down, you can see that this is connected with a ball joint, just like Bohatu's arms. So not only can you bend it 90 degrees and just slightly more, you can also, let's see if I can get this, you can also rotate it. You can't rotate it out very far, but you can rotate it in, which is pretty helpful, I guess, considering how his hands are. They're kind of weird. The hands themselves, you have your finger pivot, you know, that. Then you can, you know, you can do that. You can, come on, stand. These joints, I mean, tight is good, but too tight is just kind of annoying. You know, they can rotate up and down. Yeah, that's about all they have. Now for his legs, they go back, they go forward. They do run into these skull spider legs here, but you can just move them out a little bit. They go out to the side, they go in a little bit, they rotate, and again, they're hitting the skull spider leg just because that's there. I mean, if that is really what's bothering you, I definitely would move the skull spider, or you can just move this chest up. But that then kind of pops this out, since those two run into each other down here. It's just kind of unfortunate how many things run into each other on this mock. Bends at the knee more than 90 degrees, and you have all the foot movement you could want. So yeah, he's pretty articulate. He is still fairly small for his, you know, I mean, skull spiders are not supposed to be big enemies, but now that they've been hit with Energon and can transform, they kind of need to be bigger. I mean, just speaking technically, because I mean, if you were to try to transform that, they could maybe all turn into balls. I mean, just like metal balls with legs, and that is not that exciting. Plus, that'd be all of them, and that's just lame. So yeah, you know, is a fairly good size, about the size of a 2.0 Surge or 2.0 Inferno, if you know the size of those guys. You know, not too much of a problem, but you know, more of a problem than the individual skull spider would be. And like I said, this can come off because you're supposed to pop the leg off. You're each supposed to carry an extra skull spider to actually take over someone with. And don't get confused that the Energon 9 skull spiders, you know, like people like this who've been hit with Energon, don't think that they can control these. They can't. It's the golden skull spider mask can still control these, but these guys can't. They just, you know, throw them at people and try to stick them on your face. So, you know, normal skull spider here, normal articulation. Got the pivots. So I'll just leave that off so you can see what it looks like without it. There's an exposed socket here, but that's just so that I can attach it in a better way, I guess. But yeah, you know, I definitely think he looks better without it. Now onto his weapon. He has this kind of earthen looking, you know, kind of gun, you know, like a bullet gun. Doesn't shoot bullets, but you know, I saw a video on how to build a couple of guns like this, and so I was like, I want to build one of those guns. And so I did, and this is what it looks like. You know, it doesn't resemble any real guns. I mean, it might resemble some a little bit with this handle here, but overall, it is a bit different looking. And while it does look earthen, it still is enough different to be used. And I think it's pretty cool. Here's the tip of the barrel with a blast shootout. Now to attach it, I have this connector, which is a 90-degree angle connector with 2 axles. So I connect it to this white connector in the axle hole. Like so. You have to do some maneuvering to get it in there, and yeah, there you go. Put the claws up there, and it looks like he's holding it. I mean, it looks like he's holding the front at least, but the back, who knows? If you wanted to, you could just maneuver things that looks like he is holding the back, like that, and that looks pretty cool. It looks like he's shooting a gun at you. And if you maneuver it right, you could also get him to look through here, which is kind of a sight, and this. I mean, I guess you could use this as a scope, but it's going to be difficult to get him to look through that. So pop armor off. Just knock stuff off all over the place. But yeah, there's his weapon. It's pretty nice. You know, you can get him to hold it pretty effectively. Let's see if I can get it to where he's looking through the scope. Hold on. This will take a little maneuvering. So let's tilt his head. Come on. So what you want to kind of do is just look through that axle hole. You just try to line it up. Once you have that lined up, you just put this here. And yeah, let's see if I can get you guys to see. Gun is angled up a bit. Come on. But yeah, let's see if I can get you guys to see. Yeah, he's kind of looking through there. But yeah, it's kind of difficult with the more odd hand articulation that you have, and since you can't actually hold anything. But you know, it's not too bad, and he definitely looks cool when you get him into a cool gun pose. Kind of have to tuck this up in his armpit for him to like hold it like this, but I don't think that's too bad. You know, it's kind of how a real longer barreled gun would be. But that's about all I have to say for this guy. You know, for the back, he just has these and the chest plate. If you want it, you could use these as thrusters, or just like just be there as like back armor and just look cool. There's these spikes that stick up, and that looks cool as well. But that's about all I have to say with this guy. So let's grab a skull spider bloody, and I'll just attach it here just to show you. And yeah, we'll give him a couple extra fingers, and I guess that'll be cool. And that actually looks really cool, actually. I guess I maybe should put it there. His hand articulation a little bit. But yeah, that's about all I have to say. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. And I will see you guys later.